Even $50,000 per person is too low if you own a home. If the claim is over the limit, you could lose your home and all your assets. At Essen & Richard, we provide proper advice to secure your financial future. Call Essen & Richard at 766-4200. With over 20 companies, we have the right one for you.
Woonsocket Door Sales can handle any kind of door installation, including residential and commercial, paying special attention to your door's infrastructure, such as framework repair, to ensure that your door is firmly in place. Woonsocket Door Sales is a fourth-generation family business, installing and repairing all types of doors. Please visit their website at woonsocketdoorsales.com to see a gallery of door styles, manufacturers, and testimonials from satisfied customers. Woonsocket Door Sales, 767-3448. Call Amy Bebo at 767-3448.
Whoops, there goes another Imperial car.
Imperial Car's $75 million clearance event is going on now. Over $10 million of discounts. 2,000 vehicles discounted up to $15,000. Hurry in. When they're gone, they're gone.
ImperialCars.com. Whoops, there goes another Imperial car.
All right, we're back, and good morning. To who am I speaking?
Good morning, it's Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
Good morning, Bobby.
Tough choice between the songs. The first song reminded me of Mike Sanchez's Down the Road a Piece, which Amos Milburn did it, as Mike Sanchez mentions that in his monologue that he does with the song. So I'm going with that song there.
Okay,
Hey.
Further On Up the Road by Gary Moore.
I got some
All
work
right.
to do here.
But like I said, it reminded me of Down the Road a Piece, and many people have done that. So that's it for now, guys.
All right,
that was
very
quick.
good. That was quick.
All right, bye.
All right, lines are open at 401-766-1240. Tim, you had a subject that
Yeah,
you...
well, I actually got two things. We
It,
still have
it
a
was
question.
on. It was on the Woonsocket.
Yeah. So before we
Memories
get into
page.
that, we still have your question from yesterday. We're in the Navy now. Charles Bronson,
Yes.
who starred with him, and I think most people know who that is.
who debuted with
Yeah,
him
debuted with
in
him.
that movie.
It's a famous actor, by the way, and I think he was in was it The Dirty Dozen?
He was in the Dirty Dozen with Charles Bronson again.
Yeah. So. Yesterday on Facebook, there's a Facebook page called Woonsocket Past and Present, and I've been flipping through it, and there's some really interesting stuff out there. But one of them that popped out yesterday that I never knew this was that there was an airport in Woonsocket at one time, and it was in 1930, April 6th, and it was, I guess it was around Walnut Hill, at the top of Walnut Hill, so where Diamond Hill ends, and I forgot the name of the crossover street. But anyways, obviously it's not there anymore, but they used to have skydiving, stunt shows, flights to Providence for $5.
Airplane rides.
Airplane rides, yeah. So it's really quite an amazing thing. And if you're a Woonsocket native or still live in Woonsocket, or you're from Woonsocket and you've moved out of town, look it up. There's a lot of interesting stuff, and there's actually a advert in there that they've posted, that somebody scanned and posted for the airport, and it shows all the things that they offered. So it's really, really interesting, especially that something I never knew. And I knew Woonsocket pretty well because, as I have said, Woonsocket was our Providence growing up. We'd leave Cumberland, going to Woonsocket and hang out because that's where all the fun was. So,
Well, the article they posted was the first flight to the airport, which was a biplane. You got to remember, planes hadn't been around very long at this point. Certainly not safer planes, I should say. So I don't know. I don't know if it said the kind of, was it a Jenny or
I'm looking right now.
something that had a B-38 or something kind of number attached to it. But
It was Woonsocket Airways.
it was,
So
yeah.
Woonsocket had their own
Well,
airways at the time.
and this plane was prior to going to
It was a biplane.
Woonsocket. It was in Mendon. The little town of Mendon had an airport. It was owned by a guy named P.A. Mills, and it was quite the place. I mean, it's they did the same thing. They, all those things you just talked about. They did the same activities there. You could for like $1, you could go up in a plane. And,
Yeah, that's exactly. It was $1, and they had Daredevil Dave made many jumps from as high as 5,000 feet Sunday and on holidays
Until his last jump.
until his last jump, right? And that attracted thousands and thousands of people to go to the airport in Woonsocket.
well, it was a big thing. I mean, the whole flight thing was like I said, it was
Something
new.
new.
That was a
Yeah.
huge novelty back then, which of course,
Think about that. 1930,
In
Woonsocket
1930.
had its own airport.
yeah.
I lost some luggage there once. So this is, yeah. Oh, this is actually an artist's
And the
rendering.
Woonsocket page, past and present, there has some great articles like this, great pictures. I wish the people that frequented that page would call in or come in, for that matter.
Yeah, we'll get them here. We'll put something out on that page.
I have quite a collection of photographs that I've enlarged and copied from the Mendon Airport. And the hangars are still there in the Mendon. They're all commercial spaces now, but the hangars are still there for the Mendon Airport. I used to live there. There was a big apartment house, the Jonathan Russell House. He was one of the signers of the Treaty of Ghent back in 1814 or something, and the house was on that site. And my brother used to go out and because there was, I don't know why, but there were just like these massive piles of radio tubes and stuff that was there. And he used to go out and grab as many of those as he could. And he was quite the electronics guy. I don't know what he ever did with them, but anyway, yeah, it's.
Well, if you go on Google Maps and you look at the area where the airport used to be, you can almost see one of the runways. Now it's all grown over
Yeah.
and it's preserved land. But if you look really hard, and I might be wrong, but it looks like you can see one of the runways there. So it's kind of cool.
All right. Well, good morning. To who am I speaking?
Hey, good Wednesday morning to you, Fast Eddie and Tim.
Moose.
Morning.
Good morning. Tim, you're mixing a big song by Delbert McClinton. You said it was this song that you played, which I liked, by the way. But a little bit on McClinton before you go any further. He was the leader of a group that really didn't make that much of a splash, but it had been known as the leader of the Rondells. Fast Eddie, you know this group?
The Rondells, I've heard them.
Yes. He was the leader of this group. He played the harmonica in the #1 song by Bruce Chanel, Hey Baby. You know that sweet harmonica in that song?
Yep.
I told Tim that this morning.
That's Delvin McClinton. But you're missing a big song by him. It was one of the, almost went gold for him, top 10 in 80. It's a dynamite song, Giving It Up for Your Love.
Yeah, we didn't have it in the system.
Oh, my goodness.
This was the
That's-
only Delbert McClinton song we had in the system was this one
I was
song.
hoping that you would, I thought he's going to play that. He's gonna play
Moose,
that.
if it was in there, it was going to be on the air. But it wasn't in there,
It was
unfortunately.
so good. It's
Yep.
so good of a song by him. But I'm going with Gary Moore.
Okay.
Boy, does he wail on that guitar, Gary.
Oh, I know.
Oh, my goodness. Whew. Sounded like a little bit of...
I encourage you to go on YouTube and pull him up and watch his live performances.
I have, from your suggestion.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he puts his heart and soul into
He,
everything.
he really does. And a little side story on that. If you see him in his younger days and then his older days, you'll see a difference in his face. He's got a kind of a scar, not kind of a scar. It is a scar. That he was very self-conscious about, but he got that scar because he was in a bar one night. I believe he was performing, and there was a fight over some girl that so some guys were beating up on some girl, and he jumped in to protect her, and he got
Bottle across it.
yeah, a broken beer bottle across the face.
He-
So,
wow.
yeah.
Anyway, obviously you're very fond of Gary Moore,
I am.
and it's a great choice. I mean, a lot of people don't know about this guy. But it's a good song, too, by Delbert. Again, I mentioned that, Tim. I'll say it again. That's a good blues song. Two good choices, guys, for sure. I got a couple of questions for you. By the way, get well, Sheila. Get back on the airwaves. Hope you're feeling well. You're looking for Lee Marvin, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, I seen that yesterday. I forgot to mention. I wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, 1951. You're in the Navy now. Well, is that some kind of a comedy or something?
More or less, I think. Yeah.
Sounds like an Abbott and Costello.
I just love Lee Marvin.
Martin and Lewis.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything I wouldn't watch if Lee Marvin was in it. He just brings so much.
I know you really like him. But what's not to like?
I'll take that. I'll take that back. I didn't like him in Cat Ballou. I don't like people who play drunks or characters because I just don't like that. So,
that was an off the wall movie anyway.
But I think that's the only one he ever won an award for. So.
Anyway, let me move on.
And he said it when he accepted it. He said it should have gone to the horse.
Yeah. I got a couple of questions for you. Home Alone, the movie Home Alone. This is just a little tidbit here. What's the name of the pizza delivery service in that film? Somebody asked me that the other day. What? I said, oh, I know. What was the name of the pizza delivery service in the film Home Alone?
Let me ask you a question. Does it actually relate to another movie?
Not that I know of, Tim.
Oh, okay.
Not that I know of. And here's something a little off the wall for you. There's 3 cities in Texas, North Carolina, and Alabama, all with the same name. And they're a title of a number 15 song by this rock and roll Hall of Fame band. All with the same name, and it's the same title of this top 15 song that just missed going gold. 1973 is the year. 1973. 3 cities in North Carolina, Bama, and Texas. Same name, same title of the song by this rock and roll Hall of Fame band. What is it? What's the city? What's the title, which are one and the same?
Trying to think of Texas towns.
I just ran across this. Really? Wow.
You got Galveston, Lukenbach.
Here's the crazy part about it. In the song itself, it's fictional. They say the band that's singing it, it's fictional. It doesn't exist in the song that you're referring to. It has nothing to do with those 3 cities and those 3 states.
That's a good question.
It is. It is a good question, I think. Anyway, and I hope Davey calls in. I want to hear him present that question yesterday about the Beatles, the first question, because I ran across something. Anyway, hey, thanks for your time, guys. See if we can get those questions. If not, I'll give
All right.
the answer at the end.
Very good.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Moose. Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Good morning, it's Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
And Little Nero's Pizza was the delivery service.
Little Nero's.
Yeah, and and there was a running joke in there that every time they delivered pizza, they ran over the lawn jockey.
Yeah. What was the name of the delivery?
It's either Nero's or Little Nero's Pizza.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Those lawn jockeys are made out of cement usually, and they could do some damage to a pizza delivery vehicle, I would think.
Yes, it did. Your talk about airports jogged a few memories. Plainville used to have an airport right off 152.
Yeah, I don't think the old planes had could travel a long ways. So I think we had to have a lot of little airports around.
Yeah. Well, there was an airport in Norfolk because I lived there. I don't remember the Woonsocket Airport, but and I worked for Norwood Airport back in the early 80s. I worked for Wiggins Airways, and we distributed aircraft parts all over the world. It was kind of a neat job.
Yeah.
And there was, Norwood Airport is a larger airport. You can put some decent sized aircraft down on that. And there was one day I watched Twin Beach come in, and the landing gear let go on it, and it just kind of skidded to a halt.
Yeah, Norwood is still there. My buddy used to fly out of there. He preferred it to Hopedale, which was right next door to where he lived. But
I mentioned Hopedale, yeah.
Yeah, but Hopedale is still there, and yeah, but I think as planes got bigger and
Well, you need more space for the larger planes.
well,
right?
yeah,
runways
so
and
some of the
noise
smaller.
ordinance.
I mean, the one in Mendon stopped functioning in 1959, so it had a 30-year run. So
Probably about the same time Plainville did.
yeah,
And you still have
there's
you still have
not a lot of land back there.
you still have the airport in Hopedale.
Yeah.
yes,
Yep.
yes. But those first planes, I mean, they were made out of cloth and wood.
Yeah.
I mean, they were very light, and it was all engine. So you crashed in one of those things, and
Well, you don't walk away
we're done.
from too many plane crashes to begin with.
well, that's true.
Well, this guy that set his Twin Beach down walked into our office and says, it's insured.
Yeah.
Tell that to the fire department that came out.
My buddy used to, Mark Duzan passed away in August, and but he used to tell me he was a flight instructor, and he used to tell me all these stories about a lot of these people that own planes. They're fairly wealthy, and they drink a lot, and. And when they do their safety check, okay, all right, this is good enough here, and this is good enough there, and oh yeah, I have enough gas, and of course they never did, and then, a lot of these guys caused a lot of problems because they weren't doing what they were supposed to do before they took up in the air. So.
All righty, that's it for now, guys.
All right, very good.
All righty, bye-bye.
Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Good morning, guys. Dave from North Providence. How are you today?
Hey, Dave.
I'm going to go with that Gary Moore song. That's pretty awesome.
All right, thank you.
Yep. And you guys have been talking about Little Nero's from Home Alone. In December in Hollywood, they set up a little Home Alone experience where you could eat ice cream and you could get Little Nero's pizza delivered to you.
That's
so
an
they,
experience?
Got a pizza company with the boxes that did that. So it was pretty expensive, like $500 or something like that. But I saw it on the news and said that was kind of interesting. That's where I realized the answer was Little Nero's. But
Wait a minute. Hold on, Dave. So they set up where you could get a pizza and an ice cream?
Yeah, you could just sit around on the couch watching TV, eating ice cream, and you can get a pizza delivered to you.
And how much was it?
I think it was somewhere like $500 or something like that. Or it was like the whole they redid the set, like the living room set from Home Alone, and they had.
I don't care about the set. It better be one hell of a pizza for $500.
Was it $500 to sit there and get a pizza delivered?
It's Hollywood, so.
No.
Think of the excess in that way. But yeah, it was. I saw it on the news last year around Christmas time, and they did that, and they had a lot of people that showed up paying that. Well, they want to pay $500 to be Kevin McAllister for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's Hollywood.
Whatever turns you on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Pretty crazy. I think that's all I got, guys.
Okay.
So have a great day, and we'll talk to you
All right.
soon.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Speaking of prices, and it's not really relevant to what we were just talking about, but at 3 o'clock this morning, I was watching a Hazel episode, and which my wife hates. But
Well, does she hate that it's Hazel, or it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're watching TV?
She hates hearing Hazel's voice at 3 o'clock in
Yeah,
the
well,
morning.
can you blame her?
So I turn it down to, so you have to really have a hearing aid to
Because
hear
you're a
it.
nice guy.
But in this particular episode, she falls in love with a Model A that's a wreck. It's all gray, and it's just it's a project, but it runs. So she buys this car for $25, and she sandblasts it herself. She gets it painted. She has the upholstery all done. And at the end of the day, when this car is all looking really cool now, she's got $69 and change into it. and that's outrageous. So
You get a slice of pizza from Nero's from that.
She ends up selling. She ends up selling the car because it was too much money. So, but that's when did Hazel come out? Around this particular episode from the cars I saw was early '60s. But $69 was too much to spend on a paint job and upholstery.
Hazel was only a maid, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So
You gotta take a break.
So, I got to go to a break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street in Woonsocket. This is ON AM and FM.
WOON, Woonsocket.
Every once in a while, you meet.
Here's our tip for having more fun this winter. Ski, smile, repeat. Ski, smile, repeat.
Repeat.
Ski, smile, repeat. Check out our 3-day Learn To packages.
You always save when you buy online. Go to Wachusett.com.
This ON AM and FM forecast is brought to you as a public service of Henry's Auto Repair, 1068 Park Avenue, Woonsocket. You need an auto mechanic who cares. Call Bill at 762-2325 and tell him about the noises your car's making, the lights that are on, or maybe you just need an inspection. Henry's Auto Repair, 1068 Park Avenue, Woonsocket. Sunny skies today with a high of 29 degrees and a breeze from the northwest. Tonight, mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 12. Thursday's weather, mostly sunny with a high of 31. Thursday night, a 20% chance of a snow flurry. Friday, sunshine and 35 with calm wind. Saturday's weather, a 70% chance of showers likely, mainly in the afternoon, and mostly cloudy skies all day with a high of 45 and a wind from the south up to 30 miles per hour. Saturday night, rain ends, possibly as some snow showers, 30% chance of precipitation, mostly cloudy overnight on Saturday night with an overnight low of 30. Sunday's weather, partly sunny and 43. Monday, Martin Luther King Day, a chance of snow, 50% chance, partly sunny skies though, with a high of 28 and a breeze from the west up to 25 miles per hour. And on Tuesday, sunshine with a high for the whole day of 17 degrees.
Good morning. Here we are. We're back. And, we got a call. Let's go.
Video.
Good morning. To who am I speaking?
This is Davey.
Hey,
Davey.
Morning, fellas.
Moose paged you.
I'm gonna vote for your song, Gary. I hadn't really. I'm not too familiar with either song. I mean, blues is. I put in a little criticism today about this. This program's called "Do You Remember?" Not all people are really into, like, some people are into jazz and some blues, and it narrows down the thing of remembering, because, not too many people, it's when you go with popular songs that have been charted and people, I can think back and remember it, but I'm going to go for yours.
Do you remember is a question, and the question can be no.
Yeah, it can be no.
The answer can be no. So.
It narrows down your listening response to the songs. I mean, I'm not a big blues fan or fanaccio. What's that word, fanaccio?
Yeah, close enough.
One of those words.
But
careful where you're going.
Like Led Zeppelin started with the blues. Eric Clapton and the blues. But then they progressed. Blues shows the talent of the person. Okay, that's what that does.
Yeah,
genre of music.
As Tim often points out, this is electric blues, and I think that's. I'm going to limit my my blues preferences to electric blues. I'm really not a big fan of the whole Muddy Waters thing, although.
Yeah, no. Muddy Waters does some electric blues.
Well, I mean, when he did, yes.
But you've got rhythm and blues. Yeah. So the whole genre, you can't just look at Robert Johnson, right? Robert Johnson is classic Delta blues, But then you get into American blues, you get into electric blues, you get into Chicago blues, Philadelphia blues, you name it. I think every state has
But
their
I
own
like
American
the
blues.
wailing guitar.
Yeah, I do too.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh, Stevie Ray Vaughan is one of the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
So
I forget the name of the guy that did Going Home, and it's a real fast rocking, yeah. I forget his name, but he did it live. I think they released the live recording of him doing it. Can't think of his name, but Moose was asking about yesterday the two questions I had, but I don't know what question he has. He got the answer to my first question, the song "Got to Get You Into My Life," so I don't think he has any questions about it. I think he has questions about the song that fades in, which was 8 days a week, and
Yep.
But if he has a question, I don't know how to answer him. And I had one question, because as I was listening to your show today, I was just kind of Googling The Godfather, the three movies. Tom Hagen wasn't in Godfather 3, right? And that was, it made it less of a, it was not as popular as Rotten Tomatoes ratings that it's gotten. The first two, of course, they were in the 90s, and Godfather 3, but that only got like a 63 rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The reason was because of his pay. They couldn't come up with a good, so he declined, or else he would have been in that Godfather 3. He was but my question is, what actor? They replaced Tom Hagen. They explained that he had died of natural causes or whatever, illness, between Godfather 2 and 3. What actor took his place, not as Tom Hagen? Of course, he was a different character, but he was the legal counsel. What actor? That's my question. Anybody, Godfather fans of movies, would know the answer to that one.
All right, well, that lets me out.
Yeah, me too.
You? Okay, right.
Never seen it.
So you
Never
can't
seen
blur
any
it.
of them.
Tim could probably blur it, but...
No, I've never seen any of the Godfather movies.
Okay, but there are a lot of Godfather fans out there.
Oh, there are
and
tons of
that's what
them.
I'm speaking
There's
of.
no doubt about it.
They're just not funny movies.
They're
just great movies. That's all they are. It's great, fantastic. The acting, the storyline,
Yep.
the whole thing sucks you right in. I mean, that's all I can say, and that's why they will go down in history as, 1 and 2, 3. It wasn't so good. Even Francis Ford Coppola's final film. I mean, that just played in theaters. I haven't gone and seen that. Megalopolis or something. He's been working on that for years. I think over 15, 20. But I haven't. I've heard mixed reviews. I don't really care to. I might see it if I can watch it at home or something. But I know there's Godfather fans out there, and they'll probably trying to get. They'll probably, I know that one. I know that.
Well, let's give them a chance to call, and we'll find out.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Good morning, guys. Dave from North Providence again. How are you?
Hey, Dave.
Dave.
I have a little bit of something to talk about the blues and electric blues. It's a funny little scene from a movie, but I think Davey's looking for George Hamilton.
Okay.
Played a character named B.J. Harrison, who's a new consigliere for the Corleone family.
I cannot picture George Hamilton
With his tan?
in a mafia movie.
No, I can't either.
Yeah, he still has tan, so...
He's
but you
still
guys
alive,
talking about-
right? George Hamilton's still
Yeah,
alive
I
and
believe
tan.
so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He may pass away, but his skin will live forever,
Or
Like a lizard.
Or his skin's already passed away.
No kidding. But you guys are talking about blues and electric blues, and there's a funny scene in a movie. There's an alternative movie called Ghost World, where it's about these teenage girls, yada, 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 So, but this one girl becomes enamored with Steve Buscemi's character, a guy
Okay.
named Seymour. And she takes him out to meet a girl because he's lonely and all, and she takes him to a blues club, the band called Blues Hammer, and he thinks it's going to be like regular blues, one of his favorite artists is going to be there, but he's actually the opening act, this older black gentleman. But the electric blues band comes out, and he gets all frustrated. People spill beers on him, they start dancing, and he's like, this is why I don't go to clubs anymore. So it's kind of an interesting thing. He wanted to see a blues performer, but he ended up seeing electric blues, and he hated it because he was an old-school blues kind of guy.
Yep. Yeah, that does happen.
Yeah, but you can probably find the clip on YouTube. It's a funny little scene where he's just like totally out of like a fish out of water with this new kind of electric blues kind of thing, where you like collects all the original singers from the 40s and the 30s and stuff. So
what's it called? Ghost World?
It's called Ghost World. Yeah. It was an alternative film. Came out in like 2001.
Is it a comedy?
It's a comedy. Yeah, it's like a sarcastic comedy about these two girls getting out of high school, and they're both just real miserable, sarcastic little young women. But this one girl kind of falls for this older guy, who's played by Steve Buscemi, and
so
pretty funny.
So Steve, while you're on the line here, we've talked about Dave. I'm sorry. Yeah. We've talked about YouTube and how they screw things up all the time, and so I got suckered into watching something of it was a movie that it was supposed to be a John Wayne movie that I'd never heard of before, and so I was anxious to see that, and it wasn't John Wayne, it was John Payne.
And they had it billed as John Wayne.
But the real funny one was when I was checking out something on Lee Marvin, a little bio on him. They got to this point where he actually sang a song, was called "Wandering Star," I think, in Paint Your Wagon. And while they're showing the clip of him singing this song, they're playing and showing. They weren't. There was like a split screen, if I remember correctly, and they had Marvin Gaye playing a song. There was. I don't know who. I don't know who puts these things together for them.
There's some of those are so weird, you know.
It's some kind of AI thing, I think.
That
just looks for things that are in common and throws them all together, thinking it's going to work. But anyway.
I sent you that link too. I know you like spaghetti westerns. That one, it was a series called Sartana. He was kind of a gambling gunslinger who kind of used little gadgets like James West, but he also had this kind of supernatural kind of intuition about when bad things are going to happen. So I watched a couple of movies. They're actually pretty good. But I thought you might be interested in that. I sent you that link, I think.
I really have no tolerance. I used to love spaghetti westerns, but I've outgrown them.
Oh, okay.
I know that's foreign to you.
He has outgrown them.
To you, Three Stooges type people, but
he's outgrown everything.
Oh, Eddie, you just had to go there. All right. Well, thank you, Dave. We got to go to a break.
No problem. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
OM 1240.
Every once in a while, you meet a businessman that you just can't wait to do business with. Steve Peluso of Peluso Precision Automotive at 93 Blackstone Street in Mendon, Mass. is such a man. He specializes in mechanical repairs of vintage and classic cars. And if you don't have one, you'll want to have one just to share the experience with Steve. Maybe you had one in the past, never had a resource like Peluso Precision Automotive to keep it running and chase down parts for you, but now you do. Stop in and see Steve, and Steve will steer you in the right direction. Call Peluso Precision Automotive at 508-478-8900. That's 508-478-8900.
Are you looking for solutions to meet your business banking needs? At Milford Federal, the longest-standing community bank in the area, they offer customized solutions for commercial lending, cash management, online banking, and payment processing services. Their business banking team is committed to the growth and success of your business with local decision-making and a relationship-based approach. Let Milford Federal be your banking partner. Visit them at milfordfederal.com today. Milford Federal Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, and MLS number 465956.
Join the St. Anne Arts and Cultural Center for its annual winter fundraiser at Cello's in Woonsocket on Sunday, January 19th from 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Cello's will donate up to 20% of your check to the center. Everyone who participates will be entered into a free drawing for gift cards to Cello's and more. A certificate is needed and can be obtained at Belo's Flowers, Creative Impressions, The Honey Shop, Little General on Cumberland Street, Missy's Family Restaurant, Pine Swamp Place, Timeless Antiques, Vaux's True Value Hardware, or online at the St. Anne Arts and Cultural Center website.
This ON, AM, and FM forecast brought to you by Atlantic Family Eye Care, 2345 Mendon Road in Woonsocket, providing excellent eye care with state-of-the-art equipment and glasses made while you wait. Atlantic Family Eye Care, 765-5430. Sunny skies today with a high of 29 degrees and a breeze from the northwest. Tonight, mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 12. Thursday's weather mostly sunny with a high of 31. Thursday night, a 20% chance of a snow flurry. Friday, sunshine and 35 with calm wind. Saturday's weather, a 70% chance of showers likely, mainly in the afternoon, and mostly cloudy skies all day with a high of 45 and a wind from the south up to 30 miles per hour. Saturday night, rain ends, possibly as some snow showers, 30% chance of precipitation, mostly cloudy overnight on Saturday night with an overnight low of 30. Sunday's weather partly sunny and 43. Monday, Martin Luther King Day, a chance of snow, 50% chance, partly sunny skies though, with a high of 28 and a breeze from the west up to 25 miles per hour. And on Tuesday, sunshine with a high for the whole day of 17 degrees.
All right, we're back, and good morning. To who am I speaking?
Did I ever ask you if you watched a TV show called Lawbreaker with Lee Marvin?
Lawbreaker? No.
Yeah. It's probably in the early 60s.
You sure it wasn't M Squad that you're talking about?
I'm sure it was Lawbreaker. Bet me you'll lose.
Oh, no, I wouldn't bet you.
And I don't remember much of the show, but I was very young, so it was probably 5 or 6 years old, so you'd be like 32 at that point.
That would have been my waist size.
Come on, Tim. Let's just hear your response.
I'm not saying nothing.
I'm not saying nothing. That means you're saying something.
Yeah, I'm thinking something.
But you don't remember the show.
No.
I remember M Squad. I don't remember Lawbreaker.
Yeah, Lawbreaker was probably around the time that Sebastian Cabot was on Checkmate.
I don't know that show either. I've heard of it, actually.
I remember Checkmate.
I don't remember anything about it, but I remember Sebastian Cabot, and I don't remember anything about Lawbreaker.
So what's your point? Get to a point. Take off your hat and get to a point.
I asked if you remembered it. You don't even remember because you're old.
No, I don't remember it because I'm not that old.
You are that old. You're older than me, and I remember
You
it.
got to remember, I didn't have TV in the early 60s.
Yeah, because you were living in Mendon and hanging out in the swamp.
No, because
you couldn't plug the TV into the swamp.
Because I had a hateful mother.
All right, so you don't remember it. Okay.
No.
Go on with the chlorophyll.
All right.
Goodbye.
Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Hi, it's Annie again.
Hey,
Hi, Annie.
Hey, just real quick, the guy that was wondering about who did Going Home, it was Alvin Lee from 10 Years After.
Oh, Alvin
One
Lee,
of my
yes.
favorite, all-time favorite tunes. I just had to throw that out there.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yep, bye-bye.
Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Good morning. It's Sandy.
Good morning,
Sandy.
Sandy. How would you like to vote?
You had to ruin my whole day by voting for your husband.
Well, it was a trial. I've been trying for a long time.
You must want something.
She needs a ride.
Oh.
I'll vote for my husband's song.
Thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome. Now I gotta get ready. So
Okay.
I'm ready when you come to pick me up.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right. That vote can't count. So
that was a vote for me right there.
There we go. Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Back that.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh. Sounds
Yeah.
like I'm on reverb or something.
Well.
How about now? Any better?
You sound fine here.
We can hear
there
you.
you go. There you go. Little Nero's. That's what I was looking for Home Alone. Little Nero's. I don't know about this $500 pizza and ice cream thing. I never
Yeah, that's
heard of that.
crazy.
It's crazy.
But okay, Bobby. Yeah, I believe you if you say so. Still got the look. Wavy Davy. I'm referring to the question, and believe me, maybe you guys, because you may have written it down yesterday. His original question, not about got to get you into my life, about 8 days a week, but the question was posed as, did he say what Beatles song starts with a reverb, with a back play? that, or remember hearing that, or when I played it, 8 days a week featuring that, I had another song in mind. Now, was that the question that was posed, if you guys wrote it down or can remember for that matter?
Well, I believe it was Armin that answered the question, and Bobby followed up on it.
Yeah, the question was first Beatles song to use a fade in.
A fade in.
Correct. And it was 8 days a week.
All right. You know what I was thinking of, Tim?
No.
The feedback at the beginning of I Feel Fine.
Boy, I'd have to go listen to that.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning,
It starts with feedback.
and it starts like that. So I probably misunderstood. Thank you for straightening me out on that.
Okay.
Okay, we stood the three cities. We're going to leave it out there. Any idea? 1973 is the key. That's when the song was recorded. 3 cities in Texas, North Carolina, and Bama. Title of a top 15 song by this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band, whom we all like.
One of your favorites.
One of my favorites. Yes. Oh, so you looked it up?
Tim did.
I did. So I'm not saying, well, we had an idea and we looked it up to confirm it, but we're not saying nothing.
Good. I got something else here. You know, Elton John made 32 albums. Can you tell me number one song by Elton that does not appear on any one of his original albums?
Number one song?
Number one song, Careful. Careful. Elton John recorded 32 albums. That's insane. Soundtracks, you name it, collaborations.
Was it the Candle in the Wind version for Diana?
I would have
No,
guessed
you know, I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
I was going to ask that as a pet peeve question. What song was never released as a single when it was originally recorded and then sold millions later on? It's Candle in the Wind. That's from the Yellow Brick Road album. That never was released as a single. I don't know if you're familiar with the original Candle in the Wind.
I am.
I think it's better than the one that he made for Princess Diana. But
I think they're both pretty good.
Yeah.
Funeral for a Friend is probably the best song, though. I think.
That's a great song. Oh, my goodness.
Love Lies Bleeding.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that's such a great song. Yeah. Dave Richards this morning played a song. Now, the original title of this song, you ready for this, was Keep Going Strong. Connie Stevens recorded this song in 1970. Another group, 2 years later, covered it and had $1 million with it and a gold record. But he covered it under another title. Stevens' version failed to chart. Keep Going Strong. The title was changed 2 years later by this vocal group that everybody knows about.
Okay.
Any idea? We'll see. I know it's getting late in the show.
No
I
idea.
think Dave already came in and told us about it.
Yeah, because I called him and I just wanted to. He asked me, he says, "You want me to play it?" I said, "No, I just heard it." but anyway, that's what I got. And guys, thanks for your time.
All right,
All right,
very
Bruce,
good.
thank
Thank you. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Paul from Pawtucket.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Good morning.
Morning, Paul.
Morning.
Two great instrumentals there. I'm going to give Tim the sympathy vote.
Thank you. I just doubled my count.
Hey, Tim, there was an airstrip. I worked with an old timer, and there was an airstrip in Quinville.
Really?
Alongside the Blackstone.
In Quinville?
Yes. And you had to clear the Washington Bridge.
No kidding. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, now I don't know that they had hangars or buildings, but he told me they used to touch down, and then you'd have to clear the Washington Bridge on 116.
116.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
They must have been really pulling on a stick to clear that thing.
You're not kidding.
The level of, you're about 2 feet above the river there.
That's probably why it's not there anymore. Well,
right.
Speaking of airports, I don't know if you know this, but in Pawtucket, where the racetrack used to be, Narragansett Downs, That used to be an airport prior to Narragansett Downs being there.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a fun fact about that racetrack? My aunt lived in East Providence across Newport Avenue, and before this is like 1960, you could hear them calling the races from her house. Because the Mammoth Mart and Four Seasons Cinema, that was about it.
Yep.
But the thing about Narragansett was that the race started in Pawtucket and ended in East Providence.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
My grandmother was on Newport Avenue. The house was on Newport Avenue. And as a little kid, I was there, and you could hear the races going off. And then later on in time, when they didn't have as many races, they were booking bands. So you had the Beach Boys and all these other bands.
Right.
And you just sit outside and you could hear the music as clear as day.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the biggest crowds they ever had at the track. Was the Beach Boys.
Yeah, I remember the traffic on Newport Avenue was backed up for miles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
As a kid, you just sat there and watched.
Couldn't handle it.
The Pawtucket cops would be at every intersection, so they made some money moving the traffic in and out of there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of history there.
Sure. Yep. Okay, I'll leave you with this. Always drink upstream from the herd.
That is true.
Okay. We'll talk to you later.
All right, Paul. Thanks.
All right. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Well, I just got in under the wire there because I wanted to confirm the other Dave's. He got Dave from Cumberland. He got George Hamilton was the answer to my. And then Annie, I want to thank her for. It was Alvin Lee. I couldn't think of his name. He was with 10 Years After. He did the song, that live version of Going Home. He did it at Woodstock. And but it was originally B.B. King had done it. And that's a perfect example of blues. And then he made it blues rock. I mean, he sped the thing up. And it's like Led Zeppelin did with, like, rock and roll. That song, that's a really, riding on all cylinders thing. And I hope Moose, he understands, I feel fine, it starts with a feedback caused from John Leaning's guitar against the amp, and they kept it in. Comes, and then it starts. But he misunderstood the question when I said it fades in like thousands of songs fade out. It fades in. Dun, 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 dun. The guitars are soft and they come in and they fade in. That's all. I hope.
No, Moose understood once we read it back. He was fine.
Oh, yeah. So he was right on. He just misunderstood the question. That's all.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Dave. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, I'll take the last call right now. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Good morning, everyone. It's Louise.
Oh, Louise.
I've been on the phone, so I've been trying to regain ground here. Gary, you once asked me at a car show if I liked the blues, and I don't know enough about the genre to comment. And like jazz, it has many different nuances. But based on this morning's selections, I've determined that I don't like the really, shall I say, hardcore electric guitar blues playing of Gary Moore.
And that was hardcore.
Yeah, but
I gotta say I do prefer his original songs. Still got the blues that I played.
Phenomenal.
They're quite a bit softer and more emotional. I agree with you on that, actually.
But Louise, let me just say this. You know what? It's not. You don't have to understand the music to like it. You don't have to. You either like it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, exactly. My taste in music is very eclectic. I've said more than once on this show that I could talk opera with you.
Oh, there might be something wrong with that.
No, I'm very open to most kinds of music, but I've determined over time that I'm not heavy into electric guitar. Like Clapton isn't one of my favorites. I don't gravitate towards electric guitar solos. That's probably one of the reasons why I usually don't listen to heavy metal.
Yeah.
Because it's predominant.
Well, it's loud,
but
too.
To his credit, I did like Gary Moore's vocals. And I've heard Delbert McClinton. Is it McClinton?
Yes.
I mess up his last name. I always want to say McClintock, like the John Wayne movie. But I've heard Delbert McClinton before. I used to listen to Don Imus. He was my first intro to his music.
Yeah, mine too.
And so I'm voting for Delbert this morning.
Thank you.
It's a little bit more.
It ties us up.
Excuse me?
That ties the score.
No, it doesn't. Not even close.
What are you talking about?
You only got 3 votes.
Yeah?
Well, I got a heck of a lot more than that.
You got 5. Oh, 6. Sorry, 6.
But again, I've learned over time that I'd rather have like piano solos or organ solos or not even sometimes saxophone. It depends on who's playing.
Yeah, so the saxophone, any brass always sounds good in my opinion. Anytime you got brass out there.
You know, just categorically speaking, I'm not heavy into the guitar.
Okay.
Screaming guitars, as I call them, but just.
No, I agree with you. I just admire anything Gary Moore does with a guitar. But that if I had to put one of his any of his songs, they're all great, but put it on the bottom of the list, it was probably the one I played today, because it wasn't his song. And I prefer his songs, and I will be playing one of his songs next week.
I won't be here next week, so I'm going to have a song flown in.
Okay, we can do that, and you can take
I'll be listening.
You can take your loss in anonymity in Arizona.
A far distance loss.
Yes.
Well, I was glad I was able to phone in and.
All right. Well, thank you, Louise.
Where I'm at.
As always, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye, everybody.
Well, we have one more caller, I think, don't we?
No, that was the last call.
All right.
Because I got to go. All right.
I do too.
So we'll see you tomorrow, folks.
All right, everybody. Tomorrow,
Bye-bye.
1965. Eddie and I.
All right. Bye bye.
WOON Woonsocket.